Oh, it's been about 4 days since the release of River Reik, new DLC. Very much enjoyed it so far. Decided to make this video here about the last event of its second map, River Reik, specifically the boat event, since it's an event that managed to give me a little bit of trouble in my first few attempts at it for the full group, surprisingly. But after going through its code and figured out exactly how it works, I've figured out that you can take a bit of an unusual strategy at it, and after refining that strategy with other players, it's come to a point where it makes the event significantly easier than it otherwise would be. So I've decided to make this video here to showcase the strategy and explain it, so that more people may start using them in public lobbies and whatnot. So this video will be featuring 2 runs, one of which will be with a full group that's adhering to my strategy to the letter, which allows us to clear the whole thing with absolutely no trouble whatsoever. And the second run is going to be only me, myself, and I, through soloing the entire event, just to show that it's possible with this strategy. And after I show the runs completely unedited, I will be reviewing them, speeding up through the less important portions of it, to highlight the important parts of it. So enjoy!
Globes incoming. Get your head down.
Boy, he got close this time.
Kill that gunner! I'm taking fire!
The current works for us, Lumberfoots. We'll be there in no time.
He's trying.
Maybe one day.
Look at him sprinting.
Yeah,
looks
on
kinda-
mutation we had 3 ogres sprinting after the boat. It was
That was
hilarious.
hilarious.
Yeah, on the other ship with Grim, you can actually climb all the way up onto the chimney
Yeah.
and get into...
On this ship you can get out there in the water. Stand.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then
don't
you're
don't
dead.
do like funny shots like that. You can aggro them from here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, clean run.
No fun allowed.
Yeah. Man after on my own part.
the whole flag and being new.
Time for some rat By the comet! Keep it up, soldier! Die, creature! Listen, the rat blade comes.
Active count, Way Watcher.
Getting trounced!
Looks like we aggroed one. I think. No, maybe not. Rats sliding across deck.
Grey magic.
Right?
Watch for those behind.
Well fought, Sergeant.
Wow.
Stinking rat-hole, rodent piece of trash. What a homecoming this turned out to be.
So does the crossbow aggro the storm vermin? Because I thought that was silent.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure you can somewhat get away with the crossbow, but like, as a general
gotta be
rule,
safe
it's
than sorry,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like better
Yeah.
safe than sorry.
Get the last barrel distance maybe.
Yeah, like you can do this
Grim.
last barrel already and then just can pop speed and I give you strength.
Stay here since I don't trust myself. Oh, I pop speed now, yeah. When do I pop the strength? Tell me when to pop it.
Just go ahead.
Oh,
And you can just immediately put it in as I'm going to.
Yeah,
There you go. That's clean.
Like
That's
that?
perfect.
yeah.
I remember the first few runs we had. We failed this
It was
one.
messy.
One
It was horrible.
yeah. We failed it like 1 or 2 times, right?
And now you can
Yeah.
shoot all you want.
Oh boy!
There's plenty of screaming to burn.
I feel like the elf, that meme, when you haven't fired your true flight in
I watch for the specials now.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gutter runner. Listen, scum.
That's all Trevor.
Stormvermin.
Alright, so here we are. I'm going to be reviewing this first run here and taking the time to explain the whole strategy and why it was so successful. So you might have been surprised to see that there were almost no storm vermin throughout the entire thing, which happens to be the whole point of this strategy. And to keep it very short, the thing it bases itself on is that the fight does not spawn any storm vermins that are already aggroed. The only thing that are already aggroed when they spawn are the clan rats and slave rats. So because of that, if you take no action to aggro those storm vermins, they will not come at you. And not more than that, not only do those storm vermins spawn not aggroed, but they are important in the spawn logic, so that if they don't die, there are very fewer things that will spawn throughout the entire fight. So by leaving them alive, you block essentially like 75% of the spawns from spawning in the first place. So here all my teammates are informed not to fire their ranged weapons, because that firing ranged weapons produces sounds which, depending on which ranged weapon you're firing, can aggro everything in a radius around you that's more or less large. The blunderbuss, for example, having the largest radius possible for aggroing everything around you. So all my teammates will not fire their ranged weapons throughout the entire event, and we are standing as much as we can on the front end of the ship, because most of the spawns of storm vermins are on the back of their own ships, which you can also obviously aggro storm vermins simply by being too close to them.
Yeah, on the other ship with Grim, you can actually
So
climb
here-
all the way up onto the chimney.
Yeah.
And get
Just random comments
Ship
by
you can get out there underwater.
see that gallery. The wizard right there, just we barely see it, but the wizard right there takes a random fireball at the ship as a joke, basically. But then I immediately warn him that
you can aggro them from here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
things are already spawned beforehand.
Yeah.
So you do not even want to shoot the ship as a joke or whatever, just to enjoy yourself, since you can already possibly aggro things, since they're already spawned.
Okay, clean run.
No fun allowed.
Yeah.
So here the whole thing docks us, etc.
The whole flag and being new.
But the first ship here does not throw any chains at you. It's simply like a few sets of spawns here are obviously unavoidable, but rather fixed. The storm vermin on the back is already pinged. You can already see like the fact that it's not aggro and it's not coming at us. But if we were to go to the back end of the ship, we'd get too close to it and aggro it. Or if we were to shoot, we would also aggro it. So you're just killing the spawns. So it's quite tempting to go to the back here to push back into the water. The thing's coming right around. So the thing's going right around here. It's quite tempting to go there and then shove them back into the water. But it's a bad idea because you'll be aggroing the stormvermin right here. So you want to stay back here and just kill them as they come here. So the first set of chains spawning here. Just finishing off the things on the right, then moving to the left. Okay, nothing in our way. Just destroy the chains completely unopposed. We're gonna speed through here as the should do the little thing. A little too far in. Little pause. So yeah, second ship docking us, the chains here. So one thing about the chains here, you don't want to try too hard to focus the chains down. It does not matter how quickly you destroy them. The spawns will not be overwhelming even if you take ages to do so. So the best strategy to go about it is simply to keep swinging normally. And disregard the chains, but stay close to it so that you let your strikes cleave the chains as you kill the rats at the same time, like this. Then you can go and destroy them with charge attack once everything's dead, obviously. So third set of chain. So here's exactly what the whole team's staying right next to it and just cleaving the rats, and then the chains pretty much get destroyed halfway without us having to really focus on them. So here I think that we possibly aggro the stormvermin because I hear it making a sound. It's possible that we did aggro it, but because we destroyed the chains, it died because it was still on their ship, so it didn't matter. So here, as soon as the fight is over, I go back to the resting spot right there, which is next to this crate behind me. Skip ahead.
Watch for those.
So here, on this third set of chains, there's this other ship here at the front of you that will keep things spawning right here. And those spawns are the most unavoidable ones of the whole fight. They keep on spawning regardless of the stormvermins being alive or not. So about every 10 seconds, as long as there's not already a bunch of clan rats on your ship, they will keep on spawning over and over. There's not that many of them. It takes about 1 or 2 players only to keep them in check. But you have to keep in mind. You don't want to get taken by surprise. So against the stormvermin on the back is pinged and not aggro to us. So again, the chains are not very important. Even on this last set of where their ship can be boarded, it doesn't matter if you take time to destroy the chains, as the spawns are not much more overwhelming, even if they're there. So as you can see, like we've just destroyed the chains. There's nothing on our ship. There's absolutely nothing threatening us. There's one clan rat coming at me and getting decapitated. So here, the barrels. This is the hardest part of the strategy, sort of. Since there are stormvermins about right there, right behind the barrel, where you have to put the barrel. If I just walk in right in front of where I have to put the barrel, I'm going to get overheated by six stormvermins that are stacked on top of one another right there. I don't want that happen, obviously. So I'm going to take my barrel, move up like right here, then aim slightly to the left so that it throws right into it like this, without aggroing the stormvermins that are hiding right there, even though we can't see them.
Because I thought that was silent.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure you can.
To your right teammate commenting about whether or not I should be able to fire my crossbow, which the answer is that the crossbow is one of the most silent weapons in the game, so I could possibly get away with firing it around the ship, but better safe than sorry.
As a general rule,
it's
it's like better safe than sorry.
Get the last barrel distance, maybe.
So here, you have 2 options. If your group is messing up a bit, you probably don't want to go for the Grimoire, so you just put all 3 barrels in the same manner that I did with the first 2 right here. So you would do the same with this last barrel than I did with the other 2. That's if your team is like in trouble, or if you're through soloing, or etc. But if you want to go for the Grimoire, you have to pass by almost pass by the stormvermins by going up the stairs here and whatnot, which will be too close and will aggro them. So you have to dedicate yourself to the fact that you will aggro those 6 stormvermins if you want to go for the Grimoire. But obviously, since everything else was so easy, we all have like full supplies and very good health pools and everything. So we're completely ready for it.
You can do this task bar already and
So just go ahead and like
the pop speed and I give you
pump
strength.
both potions and everything, which is complete overkill, by the way. You don't need that
I pop
much,
speed now, yeah.
but we have the resources, so why not?
when do I pop
So
this
here
one?
I personally go for the Grimoire, while my teammate has picked up the barrel and is going to drop it in as I go up the stairs here. And there's also another stormvermin right there on top of the other 6
Send me one to
that
pop it.
spawned right
Go
there.
ahead.
Just go up to Grimoire. My route for the Grimoire here is probably not very optimal, but it does the job. It's not very important. It's
You can just
strength
immediately
to absolutely destroy this singular clan rat. It's a
Put it in as I'm going to.
such a great show.
Yeah,
Yeah, the stormvermins don't even have time to get on our ship, which means that they explode with theirs, and
That's clean. That's perfect.
event's over, just like that. Then we get to see the show of their 3 boats colliding with one another and destroying each other.
I remember the first few runs we had. We failed this one.
messy.
So you're moving forward a little bit. There's this little important part right after the event, because the way to spawn the specials are made in Vermintide. When they're disabled by something, which is in this case the boat event, you can't have any specials during the entire boat event, regardless of what you do. When they're re-enabled, the timers for which the next special is supposed to spawn is not completely reset. So the timer will just go, well, it's been 3 or 4 or 5 minutes since the last special. It's high time to get some specials in there. Then it'll spawn the maximum amount of specials it can, which is 3 under normal gameplay. So as soon as the specials get re-enabled,
Feel like the elves
once the ship
that
docks,
meme when you have
it'll
them.
spawn 3 specials. There's a maximum of 2 duplicates, which means that you couldn't get like 3 assassins or 3 packmasters. You can only get up to 2 of the same thing. So, but you could get 2 assassins and a packmaster, or like any other combos like that. So right here, I tell my team to stand next to this part of the ship, since assassins are not able to pounce you from any angle. If you stand there, they're not gonna path here if they know you have a complete line of sight on them. The only vulnerability of this spot is that if there's a gas that spawns, it can like go and collide here. But if you got gas and no assassin, you can just back off. It's you'll have the time to see it.
Seconds.
So in this case, we get an assassin, a packmaster, and I take a little bit here that I never see. Yeah, poison wind over here, got a rare packmaster. They're all dead just like that.
That's all through.
And that's basically the event. So we're gonna move on here to the true solo, and then I'll be doing another review of my true solo in the same manner that I just did here.
Rattling gun! Praise Sigma! The rattling's dead! I've slain the rattling! Stand back! Those tanks are going to explode. come out wherever you are. Under sustained attack! Now is not the time to stand alone. Watch it! Runners! Preserve! Foul warpstone machinery! One more dead ratling. Backstabbers about! Scatter!
I bet you didn't expect it to end that way, did you? Yeah. It ended that way. So, I'm not going to be spending nearly as much time on this run as I spent on the group run, since I already explained the strategy in the other run. But I'll be highlighting a few points that the team run did manage to do very well. Yeah, there's Gunners and Globadier here. The Globadier is never going to be able to hit your ship, since it's moving too quickly, and he doesn't adjust his throw nearly enough to do so. The Gunners can manage to put a few stray bullets into the players if you just stand on their side that they're shooting. But if you just like hide around here, well, they'll never hit you. They're not very important. I killed them because target practice, but you're not forced to do so. So you're gonna skip ahead until the ship actually attacks us. So the main thing that this run is gonna highlights over the team run is that since I don't have nearly as much firepower on my own, I can't kill the chains instantly as like the team was doing. And what this shows is that the whole event is not based on speed. It's not a race in any way, shape or form if you do it properly. Because the chains can stay up a significant amount of time without there being any serious amount of extra spawns created by that fact. So yeah, I have to take the time to slaughter this horde slowly with my falcon. The chains remaining up the entire time. And whenever I finish doing so, nothing else spawns. Which basically allows me to just take out the chains slowly, one strike at a time, without anything else opposing me, just like with my team. So it's not a race. You have plenty of time to kill whatever spawned, then destroy the chains as a result. Ahead. Yeah, you're doing the same thing as with the team. I'm trying to cleave the chain a bit with my falcon, but it's not very important. It's true solo. I'm just trying to live for the most part. Like, as I said, it's not a race. You just have to kill the things. They'll stop spawning eventually. So in this case, like the first set of 2 chains are not even destroyed by the time this set here is added to the mix. And regardless of that, this ship doesn't produce any more spawns at all, I think. Just destroy this chain and move on to the next. Nothing else opposing me whatsoever. Eventually I do get this extra set here. But it's a very average wave. Swing, swing, poke. Not much to comment about it, honestly. Getting us through. So I decided to actually kill the chain beforehand, since I don't want any more of those waves. Skipping ahead. So here, small important part, I end up fighting at the front end of the ship because of the large horde forcing me to do so. This is effectively a mistake, and I do pay for it, since once I'm done cleaning this horde, I've aggroed the stormvermins, and they end up coming for me. Thankfully enough, though, I have the time to actually clear them before the stormvermins come to their sense and move on to our ship. Yeah, right as I finish up here and try to start and change the stormvermins coming at me. Which surprises me slightly, since I hadn't realized what I was making a mistake at the time. But thankfully it's only 3 of them here, so with no rats I managed to take them out. Without taking a little 30 damage strike here though. And just... One thing that this also highlights is that the stormvermins of the ships prior to the last one here are not nearly as important as the stormvermins as this one. Since if you aggro the stormvermins of the first or second or this ship right there that I did, all you have to do is basically kill those stormvermins, and then if you still haven't destroyed the chains, then you might get a few extra spawns because of the fact. But once you destroy the chains, then the extra spawns that those dead stormvermins would incur are not going to happen because the ship is no longer there to spawn anything. But this ship here, if you aggro stormvermins, they're going to block your way to put the barrels in and spawn a significant amount of things once they're dead. So you really have to be careful with these, since those are the stormvermins that are going to wipe you if you aggro them unintentionally. But they are quite forgiving, as you can see, with the ability to put the barrels in, regardless of the fact that they're right there next to where you have to put them in. You can't aggro them just by standing anywhere on your ship. You have to actually either go inside their ship, more than just barely enough to throw a barrel in, or you have to fire a weapon that's loud enough for them to hear us from here. So you're just like with the team play, to throw a barrel in. So here, the one thing that's interesting, this clan rat right there that I just decapitated was holding up the spawns that I talked about earlier in the team play that spawn at the front end of our ship. And because I killed the clan rat here, then they start spawning, and I have to start dealing with them. So just carve them up. So once those have started, it's nothing else holding them back anymore, so as soon as I kill them, they just start again. Which basically forces me to deal with them again before I can finish up this last barrel. So since I've got no team with me, I decide not to go for the Grimoire, which would aggro the stormvermins and be very dangerous to run. I'm sure it could be possible. Also, I've already given myself a Grimoire just to show I can do it with the reduced health and no supplies. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that even in a true solo scenario, if you wanted to have the balls to go and get a Grimoire there, it would be possible if you put a barrel close in and just drop back in to throw the Grimoire in and push back to your ship and clean up. But safe strategy is obviously to just put the third barrel in, just like the other two, and go back to your ship. One thing here, those spawns just keep on going, obviously. This ship will not explode as long as there's any rats on your ship, or as long as there's any of your team on the enemy ship. If they're down, though, it only counts your alive teammates. So if someone gets downed on their ship and there's no one else, then it can explode and kill them instantly. But not if they're alive. So keep on killing those rats. And the moment the last one of them dies, their ship will explode. Right there. And then light show. So here, moving on. So here, as I said, I've mentioned to keep onto this end of the ship prevent being instantly assassinated, which it does work, regardless of my death. And in my eternal luck here, I get 2 assassins. My mistake, which caused me to die here, is to move on too close to the exit. They have no angle as I'm standing backwards over there. But if I get too close to this, then they have this angle right there. So I'm not quite close enough yet. I'm just like close enough that they're starting to consider it with this one just standing still. And I think nothing of it in my eternal wisdom. And then those clan rats here just bait me to come too close, and they immediately take the opportunity. And that's taunting though. But yeah, that's basically the whole thing. I hope this was entertaining and informative, and I will be leaving you with some bonus footage that I've taken trying to record good footage for this video. Enjoy. And then don't. You have to like not go far. Just
You just have to
this,
toss it.
and,
Okay.
and then I fucked it up. But it's forgiving enough that, you know. Please. There we go. What have you done?
Okay. That.
Looks like this clan rat over there is kind of bugged and just stopping the rest of the small spawns that should happen.
Bomb or shoot Grim to finish the map now.
What have you done? Can't I just record this peacefully?
We have to bomb or shoot now to get that. Do you want to get the Grim possibly first?
Yeah, here's the usual spawns when you properly clear everything. It's like those will keep on spawning every 10 seconds. Someone has to keep them in check. 1 or 2 boosts on.
Okay, I'm gonna chuck a bomb at this door. I don't know if that did it.
I think it did because I don't see a pick it up thing.
Yeah, perfect. We're good. We're good.
Alright, we got an extra 4 wave. Just back off now. Not
that
sure.
bomb could have aggroed the storms.
Very likely, but it seems we're extremely lucky and it didn't. So before we burn it,
Yeah, let's show them.
it's like it is literally like just going back to the barge, so you gotta backtrack this thing here. Like this. You stand on this little thing right here,
Oh.
and then you just jump and dodge.
Sure.
It is
I was
possible
trying
to
to
make
follow.
it quite reliable once you know how to do it.
This is the best, just all of us just struggling to do this.
To be fair, I think everyone trying to do it at once makes it a little bit hard because we knock each other around a little bit. So what happens if you try clearing the area before?
What do you mean?
Like, can you just clear the area we were supposed to go
Oh,
to? ahead of
if you
time?
go there, nothing spawns. If you go
I
there
see.
before the ship.
Oh, are we doing the wall climb or are we bucking it?
Got it. Shroom, please.
Here they come.
It's like you have plenty of time. There are both crashes over there, and then stormvermins just take their sweet time. Or I guess a horde this time. Yeah, like the main like big thing that blocks your way never even spawns if you do this.
Lovely. Full book. And was that 1 or 2?